Hi FlossTube, my name is Chevelle with Ultraviolet Stitches. That behind me is my dog Jose. Thank you for joining us today. If you're new here, please subscribe. I have a lot of stitchy progress to show you guys. I have a lot of plans and I do have a few purchases to show you guys, so let's get into it. The first project that I've been working on consistently from week to week is Winter Cabins by it's a Dimensions Gold Kit. So if you want to check out my past weekly updates, you will see the progress that I've made on it so far. Currently, I have another diagonal put in. So what's nice is pretty much this deer is completely finished except for a little chunk of his butt. And then here you can see the little baby deer forming. So we got a little bit of his snout stitched in and we have a little bit of his twig leg stitched in. The rest of it was a whole lot of snow. So yes, this is mostly what I've been working on. Put over 1,000 stitches into this project, but if I keep putting in like one diagonal a week with you guys, it won't be long before it's finished. So probably finished before Christmas, which is exciting. The next project I worked on is Plague Nurse by Night Spirit Studio. So this was a freebie that she put out at the beginning of the pandemic, and I pretty much got her arms stitched in, the outline of her arms, and her little rosary. I will submit a picture of where it was last week. And so yeah, this is how far I've gotten. I pretty much got a whole 6 strands of floss put in, so one whole length of floss put in for her arms. Figured it would be fun to do a stitch with me where I put in her face and her mask. So keep an eye out for that. That might be coming out soon. I will put in her face and it'll be a stitch with me so you guys can see what that looks like at the end. Yeah. And then the third project that took up most of my time was my Oracle project. So as you guys may know, last week I did Oracle October, which is where I list out my projects 1 through 20. And then I roll some dice, one of them being a D20, which will tell me which project I'm working on. And then 3 other dice will tell me how many stitches I should be completing that week. It's just something fun that I thought that I would do. So the Oracle told me to work on Spellbound. So and it wanted me to do 311 stitches. So I did 311 stitches, and this is where I'm at on Spellbound. I will put in a photo of where I was before, but as you can see from the pictures, it's mostly just progress up here. So I've mostly been just working up along the side, picking up colors along the side and stitching them in as I go. This was very fun. This is a Heaven on Earth design stitched on 18 count. Like a natural oatmeal fiddler's cloth Ada. So yeah, as far as plans, let me go ahead and go over that. So for my plans, I plan on putting in another diagonal into Winter Cabin. This will be at least another 1,000 stitches for the week. So this is what I work on during the day at my job. I will also complete her arms. So I'm going to try and fill in her arms and fill in her little dress. And then I'm also going to do another Oracle assignment. So I'm going to go do another Oracle October, and I will roll for that and put that information in here. Okay, so this is our Oracle October assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and just open everything up. Okay, so for October, we're going to be using a D20. We're going to use a D8, a D100, and a D10. So these 3 dice is what I'm going to use. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have project number 8. We're going to stitch on it for 828 stitches, 8 to 8, project 8. Lots of 8s. Let's see. So number 8 is my Christmas stocking. And that will be my Oracle October assignment. So yeah, now that we have our Oracle October assignment for the week, you can feel free to join me if you want. All you have to do is list 1 through 20 on your whips, and then I will show you what I roll every week, and then you can stitch on that project if you need some motivation or anything. I'm going to quickly go over the purchases that I made this week. So these aren't necessarily things that I bought specifically on this week, but they're things that have finally shown up in my possession. So let's go over that. So I looked on Stash Unload or like cross-stitch selling pages on Facebook, and I pretty much just sent an in search of post saying like, hey, I'm looking for Christmas ornaments. I specifically like dimensions patterns and kits if you have them, so please send them to me, and we can talk about it. So this one wonderful lady that I was talking to, she had a whole bunch of dimensions kits for me to pick from, but she said I already stitched them, so I don't have the fabric and the needle. I can send you the pattern, and I can send you the leftover floss that I have. And I was like, great, let's see some of those patterns. So these are a few patterns that I picked out. We have a snowman in a snow globe that says believe. We have a polar bear in a snow globe that says hope. And if I wanted to, I could change this out to the year. So I could put 2021 in there if I wanted. I like his little scarf. Very cute. The next one is a gingerbread house with gumdrops around his property. Like that. The next one is a Christmas sleigh. So it's got all of the Christmas presents in it, and I like this little holly detail. Yeah. One thing that I like about Dimensions kits is they're very good at shading. So you can see in the sleigh, in the bottom part, there's just a lot of shading and attention to detail. And then the last project I got was these little mason Christmas jars. So I think it's more of like a modern twist on snow globes. And I think that they are very cute. It looks like this one is a reindeer. This one is a Christmas tree. This one is like a little Christmas house. And then we have a snowman. And I like the ties on top. So like I said, these do not include the plastic canvas or the needle. And in some of these, she included quite a bit of leftover thread. But in this example, there is not a lot of leftover thread in that. So I would definitely be having to do a DMC conversion. So I thought for a previous video, we could essentially look at like 3 different websites and kind of compare the leftover thread that I have with the DMC colors that are recommended and see which website conversion list has the best conversion for you to use. I thought that would be interesting. I didn't really see a lot of people talking about that. So I think that will be a future video. The other couple things I purchased was because these kits don't come with the fabric, all of the kits call for 14 count plastic canvas as the thing that they're stitching on. So I went to my big box store and all I could find was 10 count plastic Aida, or like plastic mesh. And 10 count is bigger than 14. And 10 count is significantly bigger than my preference, which is at least 18 count. So I don't know if I'm going to use this. Another thing that I was looking at was these dimension kits. They do not have great finishing instructions, in my opinion. So pretty much all they had you do after you finished it was you cut it out of the plastic Aida and then you hot glue just like a corded loop that you cord, that you twist. And that's it. There's like no felt on the back. There's no, your stitching, your back is just showing. And that doesn't seem very durable to me. Maybe I just have really high expectations because I'm constantly exposed to the beautiful masterpieces on FlossTube of other people's ornament finishings, and they look like so spectacular and amazing. But we can do better than that, where we just have like our backs showing on the Christmas tree. I don't know. So I'm not convinced that I'm going to stitch it on this plastic canvas. We will see. I will keep it around, but I'm just not convinced about it. What I did, the last thing I purchased was this 14 count DMC Charles Craft 14 count, like light sky blue color. I thought that this complemented the ornaments very well. A very fresh, crisp Christmas color. So what I will be doing is I think I'll be stitching the ornaments on this instead and then finishing it, you know, properly with a back and everything. I have been checking out a lot of ornament finishing on FlossTube. And so when that time comes and I get more done, I will shout those people out that I've been looking at and share with you how I'm going to finish mine. Yeah, that's it. So lots of stuff going on cross stitch wise. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to comment down below. I'd be happy to have a bit of a conversation with you down in the comments. Yeah, thank you for joining me, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.